Commissioning Part 2, Configuring the CSV file. Legal notice: the following video is intended for informational purposes only, and every effort has been taken to ensure that the information is accurate. All work should be performed by licensed and qualified professionals. Huawei does not accept any responsibility or liability for any action taken as a result of watching this video. Viewers must be qualified and understand safety-related work practices when working with electrical equipment.
Hello everyone, my name is Austin Tabor. I'm here to give you guys part 2 of commissioning the Huawei Sun 2000 system. So for today's lesson, we're going to be talking about your CSV file and how to configure it, how to get it all set up so that when you upload it to the smart logger, it goes off without a hitch. It takes a CSV file and everything's named and all the Modbus IDs are set where they're supposed to be. And that's the beauty of using scanning the serial numbers and using the app. Because it makes, otherwise you'd be doing it tediously trying to add serial numbers and make sure you have the right serial number matched up with the right inverter out in the field. But just uploading the CSV file, it makes everything real simple. So first step with that, you need to somehow get your CSV file from your cell phone to your laptop. If you're using an Apple device, it's really simple. You go into your toolkit and it should be something that says file name. It's just a little square. You click that. You should see all of your CSV files there. Just click on the one you want and it'll give you the option to email it to yourself, which is fantastic. If you're using an Android device, it's a little bit more complicated. Here I've actually plugged my Android device. I have a Huawei Honor 8 and I plugged it into my laptop, which you can see right here on the screen. So go ahead and click on that. Go to your internal storage. You're looking for a folder called Inverter App, which is right here. Then click Sun 2000 App Download, and you'll see a folder conveniently named CSV. Click that guy, and you can see all of the job sites that you've ever scanned serial numbers for, or whatever you ended up naming them. So we're going to go ahead and open up one of these, and I can show you what it looks like. Pretty easy to look at here. You've got your serial numbers on the left-hand side. These are they're all going to be the same length. They may look a little bit different. Some may have T's and G's, some may not have T's and G's. It's all just dependent on what the serial number is. The really important thing is to make sure that they're all the same length and that no letters are missing or no numbers are missing. Location number, it's not real clear what this is, but this is your Modbus ID or your address, your Modbus address for the inverters. And if you wanted to change them, you could right here. If you say you didn't want that to be 1, you want this to be 2, and this to be 3, and this to be 4. And you can use this cool trick with Excel to actually change all these to whatever you want them to be. Just like that. Boom. You can number them real easy that way. Device name, this is how you identify the inverters in the field. So say you have inverter 1, but you don't want to call it just 1. You want it to be inverter 1, and you want everyone to know it's a 30 kW inverter, just in case you ever have to replace it for some reason. You want to know what you have out there in the field. This would be a good way to figure that out without having to dive into all the menus of the smart logger itself. And it's nice and pretty to see inverter 1 instead of just number 1. Anyways, so you can name whatever you want here in this column. Hopefully it makes sense for what site you're on. And once you have this finished, you can't just upload this to the smart logger, unfortunately, because this just says location number. It depends on your firmware, really. If your firmware on your smart logger is a better firmware or an older firmware, these columns may not match up when you try and upload this to the smart logger. So what you need to do is download an Excel file from the smart logger. So we're going to go ahead and log into a smart logger right now. Just a heads up, you almost 99.9999% of the time you want to log in as an advanced user on the smart logger. Your password is always going to be the same. It's going to be change me with a capital C. Don't forget that. And if you mess up that password more than a few times, it will lock you out for about an hour. So remember, change me, capital C. Don't forget that. And don't mess it up. Please don't mess it up. Alright, so we're looking at a site over here, and where we want to go to get the CSV file out of this guy, so we want to click on Maintenance. And this is an actual site, so you'll see there are inverters here, but typically you won't have inverters. You want to go to your device list. Depending on your firmware version, this may say device name. And then you want to click on Export Device Info. So this is going to say back up here, and depending what kind of browser you are, it's going to say, this thing's downloading. Another really important thing to keep in mind is that when these files download, they are in a .tar.gz format. So the issue with that is that these won't open up unless you have another program to actually open these on your computer. A good program that I like to use is called WinRAR. It does have a 30-day free trial, so if you're just doing a one-time commissioning, you can just use WinRAR for that 30 days. I don't believe it's too expensive to just buy yourself. You can just Google RAR file, and you can find any kind of application to open these up. So once you get in here and open these up, you can see it says .tar.gar. So you want to go ahead and open this guy up, and there it goes. It says deviceinfo.csv. So you want to copy all of your columns into these columns over here. So let's open this up. You can see the different names of these columns. See how some of them say SN instead of ESN like the other one did. Let's move this over here. Let's pull this one open here. You can kind of see the side by side. So you can see there's a pretty big difference in device information up here. So this is ESN, this says serial number, this says location number, this says slave address, this says device name, this says full name. And the big difference here is that these are just different firmware versions that these were pulled off of. And this is also your cell phone. This came directly from your cell phone, this came from a smart logger. So what you want to do here is to put all this information onto the other deviceinfo.csv. That name doesn't have to stay the same, but you just want to move all of this information over here. The most natural thing you're going to want to do is highlight everything, copy it, and paste it over here. Don't do that. I'm not sure exactly why, but when you do that, it doesn't copy over the way you'd like it to. So the best thing you can do, what I found works the best, is highlight one column at a time, starting with your serial numbers, copy this, come over here, paste it over into this column, do the same thing for your device, your location number or your Modbus IDs, same thing, and then do it here as well for your device names. There we go. Real simple, real easy. You now have everything over here where you want it. You can totally forget about the other file. It's still saved on your phone. Let's go ahead and just make these 1 and 2 for convenience sake. Now you want to save this file somewhere on your computer, somewhere where you know where it is, somewhere you can get to it easily. But there's a trick to this. You want to go ahead and save. So now we know we've saved it. We know it's been saved. When you go to try and close it, it's going to ask you, are you sure you don't want to save this? Oh, it didn't this time. Great, of course. There we go. It says, hey, do you want to save the changes you made? We already know we saved it, so go ahead and say don't save. Sometimes when you hit save, it'll try and overwrite the copy with like corrupted version. And once you've done that, the file is no longer usable, and you'll try and upload it and it won't work. So just keep that in mind. You know you already saved it, just go ahead and hit don't save. And that's it. Your CSV file should be all set up. You want to do one CSV file per smart logger. So your first smart logger should have about 80 inverters on it, maybe 79, or if it's a smart logger 2000, the full 80. And you want to make sure that you have just one of those CSV files per smart logger, and make sure it's the right inverters that are connected to that guy if you're using RS-45. Anyways, that's it for today. The next 2 videos, the first one will be on RS-45 commissioning, and the second one will be on PLC commissioning. So take care. Let me know if you have any questions. You can contact the Huawei service support team, and we can get you straightened out. Otherwise, thank you very much for your time, and have a good day. Thank you. Bye.